Hey everyone, welcome to the Thrive with Belinda YouTube channel. So excited that you're here. And today we're talking all about accountability. So you hear everyone say that you need to stay accountable with your goals. And you start looking for all the external ways that you can go ahead and be accountable. But do we ever stop to ask ourselves why we're not actually following through to begin with? In today's video, I'll be sharing ways for us to actually internally look at ourselves and finally follow through and achieve our goals. And make sure to stay at the end because I have a special gift just for watching. So let's look at our stories. One of the main reasons that we don't follow through with our goals is the stories that we tell ourselves, our limiting beliefs. So let's define what a story actually is. A story is an account of past events in someone's life. And a belief is an acceptance of that statement that is true to you. So it's not whether if it's a fact or fiction, it's that you choose to believe that this story, that this thought you constantly repeat to yourself, you accept that it's actually true. And this is where a lot of us are, that cause ourselves to be stagnant in where we are currently in our lives or when it comes to achieving our goals. It's because we believe this thought that we're not good enough and we won't be able to achieve the goal that we want to make. So when you think about these two definitions, our stories, our beliefs, when you actually think back to those two definitions, these patterns, these thoughts that we constantly tell ourselves, these are thoughts and patterns that stemmed from our past. So when we think about it, these patterns and these beliefs we're just repeating patterns of something that we experienced in our past. So we're not actually living in the present or future, we're actually living in the past. Something that I constantly remind myself when I am working through a project, working through a goal, I remind myself that these limiting beliefs that constantly come up because they're in my subconscious, I remind myself that this all stems from a thought that occurred in my childhood, some sort of traumatic experience, and remind myself that those stories are no longer true because in my current experience, I am able to achieve anything that I want. And it's something that you have to be self-aware in, which is key to actually pushing forward and achieving your goals. So once you start actually looking into our actual thoughts and those beliefs that stem from our past, we can actually start to tear down those beliefs, tear down those thoughts that we've believed for so long. And there are some questions that you can actually ask yourself to actually start tearing down these beliefs and start creating new ones. So here are a few. What thoughts, let's be self-aware first. So the first thing is let's be self-aware. So what thoughts constantly come up when you're trying to achieve a project? What thoughts do you feel, what beliefs do you feel constantly hold you back? So let's actually acknowledge them, let's put them out in front of you, and let's actually look at them. Are these beliefs serving you? Again, I feel that a lot of us, me included in my past, we don't actually look at the ugly and we just try to not actually think about it or try to distract ourselves with other behaviors, or I need to come up with another tactic to actually achieve my goal. What I'm doing is not actually working. But when in reality, we actually need to look at the thoughts, the beliefs that we have of ourselves, look at them, dissect them, and see, and actually know that these thoughts are not serving me. And what can I do to actually go ahead and not have them in my life anymore? Another one to think about is, do these thoughts actually create the future that you want to create for yourself? So are these thoughts serving you for the future that you want to create? Let's ask ourselves, where do these thoughts stem from? As I mentioned before, I know that a lot of the thoughts that I believed of myself back when, which they actually come up even now, I know they stem from an authority figure growing up, which constantly made me feel that maybe I wasn't good enough, maybe I wasn't smart enough. And I know that those thoughts are so in my subconscious, and they constantly come up when I do something scary, when I do something that puts me out there. So I know that this is just little Belinda that's scared and that's trying to protect me. Lastly, can you think of 5 ways that these stories you've proven yourself wrong with these stories? So some of your stories could be that you don't feel smart enough, you don't feel that you can achieve these big goals, Well, can you think about the last 5 to 10 years, or depending on how old you are, of things that you've achieved that you thought was not possible? Or can you just look at your current life right now, things that you're experiencing maybe in your current job, in your current relationships? You know, are you in a great relationship, or did you find yourself thinking that you will never be able to have a good relationship as you have now? Did you think you'll be able to have the job, the salary that you have now, because in the past you just felt you weren't good enough or enough to achieve these type of accomplishments? So actually look back and dissect everything that you've accomplished and prove yourself wrong. Tell yourself that, oh my God, I've come this far and I can't believe I was able to do that, knowing that I thought back in the day that I wouldn't be able to achieve something as great as this. So that's one of the biggest things that I tell myself, or my previous coach told me, when I would tell her that I just didn't feel like I was good enough. I didn't think I would be able to achieve something as big as this. But I had already accomplished such a big things in my life that it took me just her bringing it to my attention, me reminding myself that I was capable of doing it, which teared down that belief. And don't get me wrong, these exercises, it's not that you're going to realize it and then your life is going to change. This is a daily practice until, if you constantly repeat those thoughts, constantly bring this to your attention constantly, then the patterns start to change. Your brain starts to change, your thoughts start to change, and that's when your life starts to change. So don't think this is going to be an automatic life change experience for you. Know that this takes practice, but if you continue with that practice and bringing those type of thoughts and ideas and positivity and optimism into your life, that's when your life actually changes. And this actual practice will definitely empower you. It'll actually remind you that you are in control and your thoughts are not in control. So I'm so excited that I'm sharing this with you, and hopefully you'll start seeing the change in your life very soon. The second reason that we tend not to be on top of our goals is that we tend to forget our why. So you forget why you started a project, you forget why you wrote down those goals. And hey, it's normal, you know, our day-to-day comes, we have our life worries, we have family and friends that we need to worry about. Life happens, but it's important to be strategic about reminding yourself of your why. And there are so many ways you can actually keep your why in the forefront when you're currently working on a goal or project. And it all starts with being intentional with your life and starting a practice to ask yourself, to remind yourself of why your goal is so important to you. So here are 5 actual questions you can ask yourself, and I highly suggest you do this in the morning, right when you wake up, to make your day intentional of what you're trying to accomplish by the end of the day. And the 5 questions you want to ask yourself is asking yourself, why do you want to accomplish this goal? Why is it so important to you? How would this goal affect your life? How would achieving this goal affect your future? And how would accomplishing this goal affect your family and loved ones? So having an emotional attachment towards your goal is important to actually achieving it. Having that emotional reaction is what keeps you going back to the task and the thoughts of actually having this goal accomplished. And again, what I highly suggest is either asking yourself these questions daily right when you wake up, whether you do it just by having the questions on your phone and maybe writing down your answer every day, doing a daily journal, having a physical journal. Another one that's my favorite is actually creating an iPhone background where your goal is on your phone background, and maybe you can have these questions on your phone to constantly, whenever we look at it, because we know that we constantly look at our phones all the time, and those questions are there for you to think about throughout your day. Those are great ways, again, to keep your why in the forefront of your intentional life, the life that you actually want to create. And a quote that I wanted to leave you with in this section is one from Rachel Hollis, one of my favorite authors. If you haven't read her books, Girl Stop Apologizing or Girl Wash Your Face, please do. I just love her and I love what she's all about. One of my favorite quotes of hers is, it's not about what you want now, it's about what you want most. So the reason why we want to remind ourselves daily and have a practice of reminding ourselves of why we want to accomplish something is all about the end result. It's all about where you want to be. So some days you're going to wake up not wanting to go for a run to become the healthy person you want to become. Sometimes you're going to come home from work and be exhausted, even though you know you should be maybe working on your business plan, or going on one of those Facebook Live group master classes that I'm a part of that you should attend to get you closer to the goal that you want to achieve, because you want to come home and relax. So it's always about being intentional with the tasks that you want to accomplish during the week, being intentional in planning, being intentional about being strategic, of having the intentional life to achieve the life that you actually want to create. So put that quote somewhere in front of you, so it just reminds you that not every day you're going to wake up wanting to do all the things to accomplish your goal, right? Things are going to come up for you, you're going to be tired, you're going to come up with all these excuses. But we can either let them be our excuses and tell ourselves that we're tired, or you can remember, if I want to be that person, I need to do the work now. And you're constantly going to be having to do the work, but you constantly have to remind yourself that you need to do all these things to become the person that you want to become, to be the person you want to achieve those goals. So I leave you with that quote, and I hope it inspires you as it does me. And in this last section, I did want to go over some external ways to stay accountable with our goals. As I mentioned, these last two sections that we went over, our stories and our why, all stem from our internal thought process. It's all about it's us doing something internally to do things externally to change our thought process, to the different actions and the behaviors that we want to create to achieve those goals. But there are two things that I highly recommend that could definitely push you forward in staying on top and being accountable with your goals. And one is having an accountability partner. It's having someone that has the same type of goals, that scary goal that is also maybe halting them from moving forward. So you can set up a thing where every Monday you set the goals for the week, you set the task, the intention of what you want to accomplish during that week, and every Monday you tell each other, hey, this past weekend I did this past week I did that, hey, this didn't work out. It's all about giving each other that tough love of, hey, why wasn't that accomplished? Why didn't you do that? And it's all about just motivating each other and helping each other just go to the next level. If you have someone that is dependent on you to being on top of them, you'll make sure to do the same for them. And I have an accountability partner where we do this, where every Monday we set an intention of what we want to accomplish every week. And then the following Monday we tell ourselves, okay, I did this, I did this, I did this. And now if the other person maybe didn't do anything that week, they kind of feel bad. They're the person that isn't, following through on their goals. And then honestly, that actually pushes the person, talking from personal experience, that actually pushes the person to say like, okay, like I don't want to be the loser here. I don't want to be the person that doesn't follow through when it's just her and my friend and she's just, she's kicking ass here. I need to stick towards my task every week. And it really does help motivate you and stay on top of your task. And if you can't find an accountability partner that maybe has the same type of goals, maybe a big goal just as you have, then I highly recommend hiring a coach, which is what I did several years ago when I felt like I didn't know where to turn to. I felt like I didn't really know anyone that had the same type of goals as me. And I wanted someone to be I didn't want someone to be biased, right? I wanted someone other than my fiance or my family to say, hey, good job, Belinda. I wanted someone that gave me tough love. I wanted someone to give me honest feedback on all the things that I was doing. So that's when I hired a coach. And here is where the special gift comes in, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video. I have a special gift for you where I'm offering a free 50-minute coaching session for those that watch this video. If you didn't know, I am a certified life coach and a business mentor. So I am offering a free session if you struggle with anything like this of being on top of your goals, or if you always wanted to experience being coached by an actual coach, a life coach, then here is your opportunity. This isn't a discovery call to see if we work well best with each other. This is really an actual 50-minute session, a session that I would do with any of my clients, and it's free. So if you're interested, I'll definitely leave the link below for you to see the times that work best with both our schedules. And I'm so excited to hopefully meet you, a viewer of the Thrive with Belinda YouTube channel. So if you are ready to up-level your life, make sure to book a session below. I added the link in the description section, or you can go to thriverally.com and see book a session there as well. Hope you guys found this video really helpful. If you like videos just like this, make sure to like and comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to get a weekly video every Monday on mindset and business tips. Hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.